Hello, YouTube family. This is Stephanie, aka Idin Nehasthusaa Gbagba, aka Tint Tarot. And as you see, I am outside here in my element doing mid-month readings. And we are currently on the sign of Virgo. Alright? Virgo Nation. Alright, so it looks as though you guys have some work to do in overcoming overcoming change that's going on in your life. I believe that it's time for you guys to ascend, and you've maybe been very stubborn in doing so. But it's time for you to get a strategy, because you're being stagnant and spirit is not happy with that. It's time for you to cut out the things that are no longer serving you. Look at yourself in the mirror. Maybe you've been a cold bitch lately, because I saw the Queen of Swords there. And maybe self-projecting your way of doing things onto others, and that's just not reality. We cut it, and we can start putting the cards out on this spread. Your current energy is the Nine of Wands. I feel like this is more of a overly defensive state here. Below is the Justice card, so I don't know if this is maybe karma coming back to bite you or to reward you. But with the underlying, with the recent past energy being the Hangman's card, is you're at a stalemate. So I believe you're maybe at a stalemate because of something you did, and the Justice is just karma coming back on you. But you have to see things from a higher perspective. You have to take accountability for your actions and make things right. See it from a higher perspective, from a more spiritual perspective. You're in the mind frame position here on the spread. We have the Queen of Cups. So you may have been closed off with your heart, but now it's time for you to open it up. Open up to the wisdom of your heart. You know, when you have a decision to make, or, you know, you want to know what to do in a certain situation, drop the situation into your heart, the center of truth, and, you know, let it evaluate the situation, and then bring it up to the mind and allow it to confirm, you know, because you want to get your heart and your mind on one accord. That way that throat chakra can relay the truth that needs to be relayed. In the outcome, we have the Page of Wands. So it looks as though you're going to do the work that's needed to be done, and you're going to have a new beginning and a new way of doing things. You know, the pages are all about, you know, being a novice at something. It's fresh new energy, messages. Wow. Okay. Bottom of the deck, crying over spilt milk. So it's time to come out of this energy. Focus on the divine masculine and divine feminine energies within you, and get it balanced. Balance it out. Let me get all the other cards that I want to use out before I go any further. One more shuffle here, and then I'm gonna put the deck. I'm gonna get 2 cards for each position. Man, that communication card has been coming out in this position for a lot of readings. So a lot of communication. Look, the heart chakra card came out, and the crown chakra card. Okay. Getting in tune spiritually, like I was saying. Let's get some wind. Let's get some fairy wisdom on the deck, out the deck, and onto the board. Yes. All right, Virgo. Looks as though you guys are doing the work. You're realizing the work that you need to do. You're evaluating your heart and accepting that it's time to change. It's time for a change, you know? Alright, I'm going to cut it. Get these cards out. And then we can move forward with deciphering the wisdom. So the bottom of the deck is make music. So maybe listening to music can help you to align your chakras, to help motivate you. There may be some messages, as you know, the bottom of the deck we have the crown chakra. Maybe some messages that you're going to be able to integrate, you know, through the music that you're listening to, that's going to bring about healing, as spirit can speak through us through signs and omens as well. Maybe teaching us compassion to help you to focus on coming into wholeness, you know, getting your mind and body on one accord, mind and spirit on one accord, mind, body, and spirit on one accord. This is on the bottom of the deck here. So we have the cards out. Again, this was looks as though there was you were in an overly defensive state, is what I was getting before. It's clarified by the Queen of Wands, which is usually, you know, taking matters into your own hands and being creative. But like I said, even though I read upright, I feel like these cards should be in reverse, as this one is being overly defensive. So this means that, you know, perhaps you hadn't been able to tap into your creativity to get your mind, body, and spirit on one accord. And then the underlying cause is, you know, justice. The justice card, like I said, I feel like maybe it may be some karmic situations that you're going to have to pay off. And it's clarified by the Six of Wands, you know, balance, give and take. So we got two balances here. So spirit is coming in to balance the situation out. It may be a dynamic time of change. Things are going to be very intense. But the frequency of dynamic, harmonize, it says, it supports our ability to harmonize between layers and aspects of different origin and frequency. It helps us to put together a reality that is made up of many different elements, both familiar and completely new, with ease, grace, and great joy. So you can get through this time of karmic reward or discipline with ease, grace, and great joy. I don't know about great joy, but it can be great joy if you look at things from a higher perspective, as the Hangman is trying to get you to do. And look at what came out to support the Hangman. It's the Faith card. You know, you can hand this over to spirit. If this is a situation that is so tough for you and that you feel like you can't, you know, do this alone, you don't have to be. And you're never alone anyway. The fairy clarifying this energy is moving forward fearlessly. You have the strength, the dynamic strength to make this change that is needed. You know, the frequency of change supports our ability to gracefully dance with the forever changing nature of reality. You know, maybe you guys are rejecting change, but you can do so gracefully, both inward and outward, so that we can appreciate the sweet release of the old and the birth of the new. It's time for you to release the old way of doing things. You're no longer in that space anymore. Maybe you've, you know, used to live a life of crime or something. Who knows? and you've grown and you're ascending, but you're trying to carry that same mind frame that you were using when you were manipulating, maybe, or, you know, doing things that you weren't supposed to. You're trying to carry that mind frame into this new area of spiritual ascension, and it doesn't work. You can't put new wine in old wine skins. It's going to crack and break the fuck out of that shit. Or someone is going to break you. Or spirit is going to break you. As it looks at spirit, it's probably, you know, have been working on you, considering this 9 of Wands energy here in the center. But time for you to see things from a higher perspective and have faith. Like I was saying, run things through your heart chakra, as it supports our capacity to love deeply and unconditionally, even loving ourselves deeply and unconditionally. Forgive yourself for the things that you may have done in the past. It says this healing properties harmonize the mind and body, getting your mind and body on one accord, and finding your true passion, finding a passion that is going to motivate you to keep on doing the work to elevate. And then we have romantic partner. And I believe this can be family as well. But you're needing to heal important relationships dear to your heart. I'm just going to look at this card as relationships dear to your heart, which is maybe family and friends. Those are some areas in which you need to drop those situations into your heart, you know, and get some clarity and some truth there, so that you can move forward. In the mind frame area, again, you may be closed off with your heart, but there's an Ace of Swords coming to clarify that. Insight, guidance from spirit that is quick and is releasing judgment, or you know, the smackdown is coming. You're really having to take that hard look in the mirror and accept accountability. But it brings us, you know, back to our origin and help us to remember why we're here, you know, with the discernment and the conception card clarifying the energy. With the discernment card, it supports our ability to view the world and the people around us from a place of inner balance and detachment, yet with compassion and wisdom. And compassion, what did come through in the shuffles, in the shuffle, and conception. It invites us to bring our consciousness to our origin, a place where everything in creation begins, to start over anew and afresh with this Ace of Swords energy. It helps us to remember the infinite potential and possibilities of this space, in this new space you're in, a new way of doing things. You're no longer living the life that you used to, and what we can manifest through our own focused awareness and attention. So it's time for you to go within and to really figure out where your awareness and your attention is, so you can discern from a place of inner balance, because you have all this balance energy going on here, in the underlying cause with the Justice and the Six of Coins. Got two scales clarifying on top of each other, okay? But in the inner clarifying that the fairies say raise your standards, raising your standards. So it's time for you to raise your standards. You're living at a higher standard, and now it's time for you to raise everything around you to that level. And so in the future position, like I said, you are listening to spirit and to your intuition. As with the Strength card, she has a little triangle there with the cornerstone at the top. You know, the divine feminine, divine masculine, I feel, represents the other two angles on the triangle. Mind, body, and spirit all on one accord. Getting it, you know, achieving that balance. You know, Virgos, you guys are very spiritual people. You just kind of run from that power. But you're strong enough to be vulnerable. And this childlike new beginning that you're embarking on. And you're going to be getting some communication or to help you to come into your realization, so that you can take full advantage of this new opportunity that you've been given. The communication card supports our ability to exchange information in many different forms. It reminds us to run every piece of information where? Through the heart. The center of our truth, to stay in the flow of what? Bottom of the deck, crown chakra. To stay in the flow of source. And what? Balanced. The two balances, the two balanced exchange. Wonderful, wonderful realization supports the internal process of becoming aware of our what centered truth? Our heart centered truth. Okay? As well as the external processes of becoming our highest expression in this world. And that takes strength. Opening you up to a new opportunity of the greatness within. All right, Virgo. Wonderful, wonderful reading of shifting from an old way of doing things to a new, more spiritual, more balanced way of being. So beautiful. Congratulations. I'm so proud of you and the work that you are doing, taking accountability and growing. Alright, so if you like the reading, please like, share, subscribe. If you want to donate to the channel, information will be below. If you want to book a personal reading, just send me a message here on YouTube and we can get those scheduled, or discuss the details. So I just do highest good readings for the and if you need to know something about love, then that's what's going to come up. If you need to know something about career and work, that's what's going to come up within the reading. I read for your highest good. I don't want to have to read for things that is not going to get you to the place of consciousness to align you with your purpose. That's what I'm focused on. I believe that is my ministry, and that's what I set out to do. So again, awesome. Peace out.